Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw the Candlestick Maker. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, so the last of the backyard brawlers I wanted to do, and this one doesn't make any sense, right? Who knows what a candlestick maker is? That's something from a long time ago, and I'm just finishing it up because it's part of the series, right? Now, in doing so, that also means I can create whatever I want because, you know, who's going to say that I'm wrong? Well, maybe people that make candles, you know, they'll tell me. But I just thought, you know, well then let's get crazy. Let's do something that, again, looks like a backyard brawler, but fire. I guess that's where I'm going with. You know, candles and fire is what I was thinking of. So I'm going to do something a little crazy, a little fighter that uses fire. So, I'm also gonna take advantage of the fact that, you know, this is whatever we want, and I'm gonna make it into a cool posed position, something we've never done before. So I've got her kind of, yes, and it's a her. I've got her kind of in a fighting stance, but again, kind of a strange fighting pose. Okay, so that also means I am just getting creative. All right. I think I'm going to give her like some baggy pants, some kind of something, a belt. I don't know what this is exactly, but we'll think of something, some kind of cool design pattern on it, whatnot. And I'm going to have her, let's see, with her shoulders up like this. I'm going to see more of the front view of her, or the side view, sorry, profile, and her kind of looking down. And I was thinking about having her like in like one hand up fighting while the other one holding fire, you know? So like the other ones, the other butchers, or the other fighters, the butcher and the baker, I'm not going to go too crazy with the outfits because I want them to look like normal people that are, you know, fighting in the backyard for backyard supremacy. So the outfits will be just cloth, nothing too crazy. Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to entertain you with more stories. It's just, look, I just explained it. This is where we're going. Let's see what I can do here. So I want her head kind of tilted down. And let me see. So sorry if I get quiet here while I'm concentrating, but I'm going for a very specific pose, a very specific look that I have to try to capture in a downward head position. And I only have so many lines that I can work with. Okay, this is working. And also, the other idea I had is that I'm going to give her short hair short raggedy hair, because as a candlestick maker, I'm imagining that she doesn't want to catch it on fire, you know, and so it's very short pixie kind of thing to keep it from happening, you know. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm about ready. Yeah, let me just draw this last bit of the arm, and it's just going to be just a hand hanging down holding fire, basically. Okay. And maybe in the coloring I'll add like a charred soot color to the hands, like she works with fire a lot. I mean, I know you're just melting wax, so it's not a lot of fire, but it's her weapon, you know. Okay. There we go. So let me just... I'm very loose with this one. There's a lot of sketch lines. Ooh, you know what we do? Here's what I'll do. Here's how I'll make it a little more exciting. I'm gonna add the handle is super fat and studded, like I did with the butcher. How it could be a weapon too, and maybe that also makes them related, you know. Ooh, we'll say that this is a family too. There we go. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so then I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines. This is a very thick sketch line, and it'll leave me with just the confidence lines, and that's what I want to draw on anyway. I always want to draw on confidence, not on sketchiness, and then I can switch over to Sharpies. All right. Plus, I don't want it to stand out over the Sharpie. I want the Sharpie to stand out, you know. That's what we're here to do, draw with Sharpies. Okay, I think that'll work. Yeah, let's go. Let's welcome everybody that skipped to the Sharpie part. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find the things that fine point can't quite find. So, I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the sketch lines, and what's left are the darker confident lines that I can trace over and gives me a guide of where to go. So, I've got her in a fighting position, and I'm going to just go ahead and start. I've got her head tilted down, and it's going to be a little... Ooh, I have to sneeze. Hang on. 1 second. Ooh. Okay, I sneezed, so it got quiet there on the video just so I could not sneeze in the microphone. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the eyes. I've got her head kind of tilted down, so we're going to have more on the top here, and the face is tilted down. So, in doing so, we're going to have a little bit different of an angle. So I'm going to draw the top of her eyelids like this. And this one's like that. So, again, because she's tilted down, we're going to have just a slight different approach, different technique. Okay, so I'm going to draw the iris like that. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see how her head is tilted? Does that make more sense? I'm going to do just a little bit of the pupil like this. Because the size of the drawing, I can't get too far into detail with a lot of stuff, so I'm limited as to what I can put down. So for the eyes, I'm just going to kind of come in like that a little bit. I'm going to draw a little bit of a cat eye on this side like that a little bit too. I'm not going to draw the inside because it's going to bleed too much if I do, and I can take care of that with color. But I'm going to draw coming down like that, just a little bit of where it would come through. So her eyebrow is going to be like this. Okay. Like that. And then for the nose, I can draw a little bit of the bridge like this into the top of it because she's looking down, you know? Try to clean some of this up. There we go. And we're going to angle that a little bit more too. Perfect. Okay, so her mouth is going to be like this. Oops. Let's see if I can smooth that out too. So there's the top lip. You're going to see more of the bottom lip from the way that her head is tilted. I'll try to smooth some of this out. There we go. Okay, so that means her chin's going to be right here. And I'm going to start to thicken it up too, because as I switch over to the big Sharpie, you're going to see a thickness in this that's a lot thicker than this. So I'm going to try to compensate for that. And I'm going to work my way up to her head like this. Now, I've got her with short hair. So, let's see if I can, might have made it too thick. Let me try to match that up. So I'm going to go ahead and draw like the top of it like this, because I was talking about in the sketch that I imagine as a candlestick maker, she doesn't want her hair to get caught on fire. So I've got her with just kind of some bangs, and then a short like pixie cut. Like this. Okay. And so now I've got kind of the hair, just kind of a crazy little silly mop. So we're just going to kind of have some fun with a crazy style. Kind of a cool pixie cut. And let's see, where else can we do? So basically, also that means the back of her head you can see more. So I'm gonna go ahead and guide myself a little bit with some of these lines, so I know which way to take it. All right. All right, and those are going to be going back. Those lines are back. I'm gonna have that part open like it's a piece of hair flying back, you know? Like that's, you can see through that part of her hair is what I'm trying to say. Same thing here. There we go. Alright, so I'm not gonna draw every hairline, but enough to guide me as to which way it's gonna go, which parts should be colored in to flow the hair, basically. All right, not too bad, not too bad. How's yours coming out? Awesome. There we go. Okay, so that means I can switch over now, because I think that's all I wanted to do. Let me just close this off. You can't see her ears from the way she's looking over. Okay, and so I've got her in kind of a fighting stance. So I'm going to draw her hand, which is in front of her face, kind of. It's more of, she's doing one of these kind of thing, but I guess you can't see from the back of her hand the way it goes. Holding it up, almost like a karate chop, you know? So I've got her hand like this. You can see the fingers. And because it's basically, you're doing that, you're not going to see much because it's just a shape. And then we're going to try to do some of these fingers, but like this, you're not seeing much, but it's part of the style of what we're going to do. Okay. So I'm going to come in here to the bottom of her hand. This will guide us. There's her pinky, like that. Her ring finger, and her middle finger, which is right there. Okay. And her thumb is back behind that, so that's all we can really do, but that's all we have to do. Okay. So that also means that her arm is up to hold this up like this. So I'm going to come here and draw the elbow, back to the forearm, and come back up here and connect it. And let me use this Sharpie to connect a few things because I was afraid it was going to bleed too much, so I didn't want to go too far there. Okay, so here's the top of her hand, like that. Here's her knuckles, like this. There we go. Does that make more sense? Awesome. Okay. Okay, and to help you visualize where she is, her neck is coming down here, but I've got her in like a collar that's kind of popped up, like this. And of course, you can't see the rest of it. And since her arm is up, we're going to draw. See, her collar is going to come down here to her shoulder. She's going to have her sleeves rolled up for the fight. And so then that means this is her shoulder coming down to her waist, and I'm going to have her wearing a belt about right there. So I can come up here and draw this part for her breast, and then her arms are, the sleeves are all, you know, bunged up because her arm is raised up like that. So I'm just going to kind of do one of these. Again, roll up the sleeve, and the arm is back behind itself. So all of this you can't really see. So we're kind of getting away with not drawing everything because it's over itself. But that's just a position. That's what we chose. So we kind of get away with not drawing as much. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of add some fold lines like this. And we'll say that's where her shirt is, like that. Okay. There we go. Perfect. How's yours coming out? Awesome. There we go. Some bunged up shirt is what we're going for. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to put this arm down, and she's going to be holding fire, basically. So I'm going to draw the rest of her arm, and her arm I'm just going to do normal because I'm going to color it with a little dark soot, ash type kind of color because I have her working with fire a lot, and that's her weapon, fire. So I'm going to draw her arm to her elbow. We'll go and do the other side too, to the crook of her arm, then down to the wrist, like this. And because she's holding her stick, basically you're just seeing like that much. That's all you can really see. So I'm just going to draw her knuckles here like this. It's going to close in on the stick. The thumb's going to come down like that, and that's where the stick is. And again, see, we're not going to see much because of the way she's positioned. So I'm going to draw the stick to the fire. And watch this. I'm going to do something like this, and this is where the fire is going to be. I'm going to do that with a thinner Sharpie because I want it to stand out. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Let's finish up the back of the stick. And I thought this would be neat to do. I'm going to do like her, like the butcher. And so the end of the stick, I'm going to make into like a bumped, riveted handle. So if she needs to, she can use it as part of the fight. Okay, a big one there. I'm going to connect all this in a second. I just wanted to kind of get this going. Now, I've drawn it out, so I'm not just drawing willy-nilly. I know where I'm going with this. That's why I just kind of threw them floating, you know? There we go, just giving it a little bit of design, a little bit of strangeness, something like that. Okay, there we go. So that's, now let me thicken this up, just try to match it. And that'll make it stand out, right? I realized I made it too thin. There we go. There's a strange weapon of a handle. Okay, so for the fire, I've sketched it out, so I'm just going to kind of come in here and do one of these. And there, so see how now the handle, the top of it, looks kind of like it's on fire, like you can't quite see through it. So I want to draw more lines, but I probably shouldn't. I should do that with color. I'm just going to add some little licks like that. There we go. That's all we're going to do for the fire. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw a belt. Just something just to hold all her stuff together. And then just a little bit of something for the design. Nothing crazy, because we don't want the belt standing out. We just want to break up the blankness of it, you know, just something a little bit different. Okay. All right, so for her pants, I got kind of a flowed baggy pant. So, and she's got one leg out and one she's standing on. So I'm going to draw the back of her pants like this. And again, I'm following my sketch, so that's why it's kind of going a certain pattern. Okay, so now I'm going to play around with those creases and folds, because I added them. So we're just kind of giving her a very flowing pant leg. You know, something a little more loose. All right. Yeah. How's yours looking? That came out pretty good. Now remember, you don't have to do it exactly like me. I'm just trying to show you an idea, a way to create creases and folds to, you know, make the cloth come alive. All right, so now it's basically just for the foot. I'm just doing anatomy. I'm going to have her barefoot. So I'm going to have her ankle down, pointing like this. So there's her calf, down to her heel. And let's see, we're going to draw her toes. And then her big toe, you can see that the most. Like that. Oops, that's more of a point than it is a curve, huh? There we go. Okay, and so we'll do the same thing with this foot over here. We're just going to do where the material is going to be baggy. Come back up. And then add some of those lines. Oof! I almost just dropped my Sharpie opening it up. Again, you don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm just adding lines to make it flow a little bit. So don't feel bad if yours doesn't have the exact same lines. I'm just using this Sharpie to accent and accentuate, that's the same word, the curves of the creases. Right. So now we're just going to draw this other foot, and it's the inside of the foot. So I'm going to come down here to the ankle like this. So I'm going to draw the big toe. Like that. You can't really see the other toes, so I'm just going to basically do that for that angle. So let me just clean something up here real fast, just to kind of show that there's a bend right there. But because of the way that we have it, there's only so much you can see. Same thing here, like that. All right, so there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So of the Backyard Brawlers, that is the Candle Maker.
So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.